Many times when working with large tables of data, we might need to scroll down quite a ways to see the data we're interested in. In this case, our column headers scrolled off the screen, making it tough to figure out what data is in each column. FreezePanes will help us by locking in or freezing one or more columns or rows in our worksheet. These frozen cells will always be visible, no matter where we scroll in our worksheet. Let's start off FreezePanes by just freezing a row or a couple of rows to be headers for our worksheet. Now, the easiest way to do that is to click row 6, and then we'll go to the window menu and click FreezePanes. And as we scroll down now, you see rows 1 through 5 will stay locked in place or frozen. So we always know what column we're looking at, no matter how far down we have to scroll. The problem is if I scroll to the right now, I'm going to lose that first column and I don't know what product I'm looking at. So I need to go back and freeze that first column as well. So the first thing you need to do is you have to go back up to your window menu and undo the current freeze. So we'll just unfreeze panes. Well, now what we're going to do is we want to freeze column A. So we'll click on column B, and this time we're going to use the ribbon. We'll go to the layout ribbon, come over here to the end of the freeze panes command, and we'll just freeze panes. And now you'll see as I move to the right in my worksheet, the columns still scroll, but column A stays locked in place, frozen. So I always know what product I'm looking at. As I scroll across, I can see I'm still looking at dried plums, the unit price of $3.50, company K, and the status ID is allocated. So even though I've frozen column A, now when I scroll down, my column headings go away because I unfroze those before. So let's see how we can do both. Again, the first thing we're going to need to do is undo our current freeze. So we'll go here and unfreeze. And now we'll just click on B6. Now Excel, when we freeze panes, will freeze everything above the active cell and to the left of the active cell. So click on freeze panes. And now I can scroll down and the column headings stay in place. My row headings stay in place, the product. So I can scroll anywhere I want and I keep the relevant information as headings where I can still see it. The last option on freeze panes we're going to talk about is freeze top row and freeze first column. These two options are relatively new to Excel. And as I scroll down, maybe I want to look at one of the products compared to another one. But I'm on row 15. I can't really freeze the first 15 rows. So what the freeze top row will do is that will freeze the top visible row in your worksheet. So if I click that, row 15 is frozen and I can keep scrolling down and maybe compare it to something else. Likewise, if I'm scrolling to the right and I want to freeze a column and I've scrolled over to the right quite a bit, I can do that with freeze first column. That will freeze the first visible column on your worksheet. And as I scroll over, you'll see column E now stays in place. Now when I scroll back, I can't get past column E because it's frozen. So you see, freeze panes is really not that difficult, but it's a useful tool to help you work with your worksheet.